Hello and welcome to Apex Networks. This online tutorial module will cover the HR application. This module is part of the Apex Networks online training system for Apex PTS. We recommend you play this training video on a separate device to the one that you are setting your system up on. This will allow you to pause or rewind and keep pace with your progress without having to switch screens. The HR application is protected by a double layer of security on the PTS system. The first is that you need to have permission to access the application, and the second is that you will have to re-enter your password once the application is selected. Apex recommend that you should never leave your system unlocked while you are away from your workstation, but especially so when using the HR application, as you could put your employees' data and personal information at risk. From the main menu button, click onto the HR application and you will be prompted to re-enter your password. Once in the HR application, you will see the pale green menu bar at the top, which has 6 buttons on it. The first button is the Employees. The drop-down menu, when hovered over, will give you several options. The first is Employee List, which will give you the list of all your current employees. This may already be showing, as it's the default setting when starting in HR Manager. Next is Training Pack Status, and you can see here all of the staff and use the search filters for any training packs that require attention for renewals or completion, or ones that are in date and valid. After this is Review Holiday Requests. Here you will find any holiday requests made by ambulance crew on their employee portals or other staff from their desktop system. Below this is the button to request a holiday, either for yourself or another member of staff. Next is the Employee Letter function, where a preloaded letter can be sent to multiple employees by selecting them from an employee list. NOK Importer is after this and can be used to import next of kin and employee details from another system by CSV file using the employee payroll number as a common reference. Finally in this list is the New Employee button that will bring up a blank template for you to fill in. You need to remember here that if a new employee has already had some details added to create a system user or crew profile, there will already be the basic profile in here, so you will need to just add the details rather than setting up a new one. The next drop-down is Reporting, with the first option being for absence. The PTS system provides a comprehensive list for why an employee may be away from the business, rather than just sickness or holiday. It may be worth having a look at these when you have a moment, as this is another function that will allow you a far greater understanding of your business. Next is a clocking report, which will give you electronic timesheets via a report, rather than having to gather in individual ones. There is a separate tutorial called Timekeeping and Driver Activities that will cover this off fully. Holiday Report will give a full report of allocated and remaining holiday days for your staff. Next is a License Expiry Report, which will give a report giving the expiry dates of licenses of employees. As PTS is fully customizable, these can include any licenses that you need, such as driving licenses, vocational licenses, forklift or ADR, also time expiry permits or police checks. The Performance Report will give a report to show any performance notifications for non-conformance and also commendations. This section is fully customizable and easy to use. Lastly on this section, there is a user login report, which shows which of your users has logged in, on what date and at what time, but also from what IP address. Management is the next icon, and here you can add any policy or procedure documents that you wish staff to have ready access to. These could be things such as company handbook, disciplinary procedures, or codes of conduct. These documents are then available to view in each selected employee's personal portal. There is also the function to have an acknowledgement that an employee has read a specific document. This can be viewed in the next part of this drop-down, marked View Acknowledgements. The next drop-down is for auto emails, and this is where you can add an employee to receive either specific reports or notifications. Work Rotor will give you 3 options. The first is to edit the work rotor, and this will allow you to view and adjust an existing rotor. Set up rotor patterns will let you set up an infinite number of rotor scenarios to fit your business. Apply rotor pattern will let you apply your workers to a rotor pattern, whether they are system users or crew. There is a separate tutorial on rotors and holidays to explain how these are done. Setup gives two sections to load and store letter templates for your staff. Edit and apply performance categories. Manage holiday years will allow you to set your company's holiday year. Manage job titles will allow you to edit existing job titles and create your own if needed. This is so the system fits entirely with your company. Employee capabilities allows you to set up an infinite range of capabilities to apply to your workers. Driver capabilities will show up when they are selected for a job to assist the controller in knowing that they have selected the correct crew member for the job. Last in this list is employee groups, and this will let you set up groups for employees, such as day shift, nights, weekends, etc. You will notice at the end of the green bar that you have the speech chat icon, which allows you to have a chat function with anyone that is logged onto their PC. Below the green bar we have a search and filter option, which allows you to select your location if your company uses different sites, a status drop-down to search from all employees, active or deleted. Below this, you will see a list of your employees, their name, status, payroll number, mobile phone number, email address, the system will pick up work email and mobile number for notifications, etc., and job title. To open an employee record, simply click on it and it will open on the first tab, Personal Details. Details here are fairly self-explanatory. At the bottom there is a portal clocking pin. This is for clocking on and off shift, as well as access to their employee portal. This is covered off in the next module, Timekeeping and Crew Activities. There are a further 9 tabs. The next is Employment Details. This covers off actual employment details, including contract, start date and night worker agreements. PAYE details, next of kin and doctor details. There is a section for comments, and a section for any medical information that could be useful if a worker became poorly with an existing condition, diabetes or epilepsy for example. Holidays will show any that have been taken, are allocated, along with any remaining days. Absences is the next tab, and this will log all employee absences, as well as allow you to enter a new one. There is a list of new absences preloaded into the system, which will allow you to offer a full explanation as to why a worker was away from the business. Simply click on the Add New to open a new template. There is also a section to upload a copy of any sickness or return to work certificates from the employee's GP, doctor, or an employee self-certification. Clocking records are next, and this will log when an employee has clocked in or out on either a desktop computer, PDA, clocking kiosk, or their online employee portal. There are several buttons here. You can do a manual clock in or out from here. Also, you can do an in and out entry if an employee didn't or couldn't do it on a certain day. Each clocking entry can be edited if an employee was late or failed to clock in or out at the correct time. The last button on this row is for audit purposes and will give a report on which clocking entries have been adjusted or edited, showing the date and time of the edit, who did it, along with the before and after times. The Attachment tab will allow you to add documents to the employee file. These could include scans or copies of birth certificate, contract of employment, night or lone worker agreement, licenses, or any documents that you wish to save. Like many of the storage areas of the PTS system, this section is expansive and will hold any amount of documents, but we recommend that you regularly do housework and remove any documentation that is no longer required or relevant. Licenses will allow you to log an employee's licenses, such as driving, and the vocational licenses relating to that, such as LGV or towing entitlement, with a description, license and an expiry date. This expiry date will populate a report and send reminders to the selected management to remind of licenses that are due to expire. You can put any type of license here, including such things as ADR or forklift. The Performance tab is next and will show any performance notices for this employee. They can be positive with a commendation or negative with a non-conformance note. This section of the HR module is to assist with discipline and show a balanced view of the employee's general conduct, positively as well as anything that may be seen as negative. Finally, the Capabilities tab. Here you can add capabilities for any staff so that you can recognise and log their individual skill set along with their training level. These will then flag up when a crew member is selected for a job by a controller and confirm that they have the correct person for the job.